Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my favorite books for toddlers. Alright, if you're new here, my name is Claire. This channel is all about mom stuff, lady stuff, and life stuff, so definitely hit that subscribe button down below if you are into any of that. And if it is not your first time here, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate your support, and you probably already know by now that I'm actually the mother of two toddlers. Fox, who is like 3.5-ish, and Desmond, who will be 2 in May. So I'm really at that point right now where they're both really into books. They're starting to be into like the same types of books. And because March is reading month, I thought this would be a great video to make in case you are looking for a book to get a child as a gift. Because if you don't have children that age, it might be hard to know like what they're into and like what would be a good idea. So if you're looking for gift ideas, this is a really good video for you. Or if you've just been stuck reading the kind of same stuff and you just need some new ideas, then stay tuned. Alright, the first book I'm going to start with actually is an author, and you've probably heard of him if you're a mom, and his name is Eric Carle. And I loved him as a kid, and he's written some really famous books like Polar Bear, and The Hungry Caterpillar. We have tons of his books, but as I thrift, I often find books by him that I had never heard of as a child. Maybe I'm the only one. But one of our favorites by him is Have You Seen My Cat? And Slowly Said the Sloth. And now these are ones I never had growing up, but my kids love them. And what I really like about Eric Carle is a lot of it focuses on like the pictures and the art rather than the story. Where is My Cat is not a very strong story. It's pretty much just asking where is my cat on every page, and there's different types of cats. But my kids really love it because like it shows you all the different types of cats. So like good for my little one who's like learning words and stuff like that. We love the art of Eric Carle. Anything you see by him, snatch it right up because your kids will love it. The next book I'm going to talk about, I've actually talked about in another video because this is seriously probably my kids' #1 book. And it's called Don't Push the Button, and it's by Bill Cotter. And this one is especially great because they have a version of it for like every holiday. So we have like a Christmas Don't Push the Button, we have a Halloween Don't Push the Button, and it's funny because it's directional, you know, it's like telling you push the button once, push the button twice, see what happens, like tickle my tummy, like all these different things. So if your kids maybe aren't like super into sitting down and listening to a story, this is a great one to get them more involved because there are actions involved with every page, and both of my kids love Don't Push the Button. My next book for you guys is an oldie but goodie. It has stood the test of time for sure, and that is this Richard Scarry book. This one is called The Best Word Book Ever, but the Richard Scarry series is amazing. I know it's like a little bit old school. It's not a storybook, but instead is like a what is this type of book. So every page just has an incredible, like, it's got a little tiny story here, but in every scene it has a label to what every single thing in it is. And this is perfect for my almost 2-year-old because he wants to know what everything is called right now. And I will say that I think this book in particular just has a lot to do with how large my older son's vocabulary is. Because, I mean, this book seriously has every scene in it with every label. He knows all the vehicles, like all the tools, all the fruits, vegetables, food, everything you could think of, and he's so into this. So definitely check out Richard Scarry books because they are a winner. The next book actually was mine as a child. I still have it. The inscription is still in there. Merry Christmas, Claire. Love Mom and Dad, 1996. So I was 5. But my 3-year-old loves this book. It's called My Little Sister Ate One Hair by Bill Grossman. And it is a funny one. It's a counting book. So it's like, you know, my little sister ate 1 hair, and then it was, she ate 2, you know, snakes, and she ate like all these wild things. And like, it's funny because kids this age just love gross things, especially my children. They love anything that has to do with like being gross. So it's like really funny that she like eats all this stuff, and like it's also a counting book. It's just a really funny book, and my son asks for it quite often. Next is a classic. This one was also mine as a kid, and that is The Rainbow Fish. And you've probably heard of this one. It's a really famous one, and that's because because it's like a really good book. The illustrations are beautiful, and the whole message of the Rainbow Fish is about sharing, it's about being nice, it's about being kind. It's got just a really fabulous lesson. So I really love the Rainbow Fish, and my sons love it too. The next book I'm going to recommend is a whole series, and that is the I Spy series, and those are amazing. I don't have one in my hands right now, I'll insert a picture, but you probably know the type of book I'm talking about. My kids have one for like every holiday, a Halloween one and a Christmas one and all that, so they're packed away with the holiday stuff. I think the like traditional I Spy books might be for a slightly older child, but my 3-year-old really loves them. And if you want like the same sort of idea but for a younger kid, we have these First Look and Find books, which are very similar to I Spy, but they're just a little bit easier. The items you have to find are pretty easy to find, so good for a younger child as well. Fox, my oldest, still likes these ones too, but Desmond, my youngest, is starting to really get into them. We have like a Mickey and Minnie one, and we have a Thomas one, and they make a lot of these different ones, so whatever your child might be like into, they're gonna have one of these for you. So the I Spy, I Find, those sort of things, it kind of mixes it up when it comes to story time if you're like sick of just telling the story, or if you have a kid that's just like not into listening to stories, because it took my oldest like a long time to even be into like listening to a story. This is always a way that I could get him sort of interested in books, because it was sort of a game for him. So if you have a kid like that, these are amazing. My next book is called Double Trouble in Walla Walla, and it is by Andrew Clements, and this book is so funny. And if you like Dr. Seuss books, you'll like this book, because it's like all tongue twistery and wild, and the story is basically that this girl can't stop speaking in tongue ties, and then it spreads to like all the people in her school. So it's like so funny, and my kids love to hear me try to read from it. The illustrations in it are amazing, they're hilarious, and it kind of takes the normal format of a book like a little differently, because it uses like speech bubbles instead of like regular print, and some of them are like, you know, really funny. They go around and they're all just these wild tongue ties that tie into the story. So it's a really, really funny book. Like Fox just laughs the whole time I read this to him. So this is a super good book, and you should definitely get a copy if you don't already for your kids. And the very last book I'm going to talk about is The Giving Tree. This is like my #1 favorite book. Like more than Harry Potter, more than Lord of the Rings, deep down in the core of me, The Giving Tree is my favorite book of all time. And of course it's by Shel Silverstein. This is a really old copy. I got it, you know, it says Merry Christmas, we love you, Mom and Dad, 1994. So this has really stayed with me that long, and now my children enjoy it. I will say it's probably for an older toddler and on up, because the pictures are not super colorful. So I found that over the past few years, Fox has really not been into it until very recently, because now he's more interested in the story and stuff. He's taken an interest in The Giving Tree again lately. So of course, if you don't know the story, it's about a tree and a little boy who grows up, and the tree just gives all of herself to the little boy, and it makes me cry every time. Maybe that's why he likes it when I read it, because he then laughs at me, because I cry when I read this book because I'm a mess. Alright you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment down below. What is your toddler's favorite book? Because of course, in addition to these books, we read tons of stuff all the time. We check things out at the library. We take them to a story time every week. And I would love to hear from you guys what your kids are into right now, just to give me some ideas, and anybody else watching this video some ideas too if they are looking for some more. And of course, no matter how old you are, take some time out to read something this month, because reading is so good for you and amazing. And I seriously just finished all of the Harry Potter books again, like yesterday. So I love to read. It is something that I hope my children will grow up loving as well. So make sure, if you haven't taken some time out for yourself to read a book in a while, do it, no matter how old you are. And of course, come back for more mom stuff, lady stuff, and life stuff. I post new videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Of course, hit that subscribe button down below. It's totally free, and I would love to have you. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Happy reading month, everyone. Bye.